Okay, so we have our beadwork, right? And then there's almost every pattern that you will purchase or that you'll use will say at the end, okay, so you completed your beadwork. Now this is our tail, right? So it's going to say now weave, secure, and cut your tail. Well, what does that mean, right? So if you're starting, what does that mean? How do I do that? How do I start? Well, in my previous video, I showed you how to use a different bead as a stopper bead, right? So this bead was used here as a stopper bead to keep my beadwork from falling out of my thread. So I've removed that off camera, of course, and I've needled up the tail. Okay, so as you can see, it has a tiny little tail up here. All right, so what do they mean when they say weave in? Okay, so weave in. Weave in basically means kind of follow the stitch that you've created, right? So just stitch through this one and then this one, no particular order, just making sure that your thread doesn't show, right? So that's what weave in means. You're just going to stitch through here to create a few turns that will secure your thread in your beadwork, right? Now, if you want to go a little bit further than that, because maybe you're a little paranoid, like myself, I like to secure my thread in there to make sure that thread is not going to come out, right? How do I do that? So once I've weaved in and I'm happy with the amount that I weaved in this particular sample, I've only weaved through these 2 beads. Normally I would weave it through a few more just to make sure that it's a little more secure, but this piece is going to be taken apart anyway, so I don't want to waste too much thread. So once I'm happy with the weaving in, how do I secure? So we're going to do half hitch knots. So we're going to try to stitch through here. Okay, so let's put this out of here. And we're going to try to pick up that thread that's in there. Not sure if you can tell right there. Let's see if you can see. I only stitched under that thread that's in between the 2 beads, right? So now we're going to pull this. And as we pull, we're creating this little loop. Put your thread, pass your thread right through it. And that's going to create a half hitch knot. There you go. Now, I am very particular and I always do 3 knots. It's up to you. You can do just the 1 if you're comfortable with that. Again, I'm a little paranoid on the fact that my beadwork could come apart. So I put a couple of other knots in there. Okay, so 1, 2. We're going to stitch through 1 more bead. And then this is going to be my last and final knot. Okay, so 1, 2, this is our 3rd one. We're going to stitch right through that loop and pull tight. Okay, now you can do one of 2 things here. You can either cut your thread here or you can stitch through 1 more. I'm going to stitch through 1 more because I don't want to risk cutting that last knot that I put in there. So I'm going to take the cutters, go right in here and cut that as close as I can to the beadwork. Now that should be enough, but if you want to be a little more secure and you want to make sure that this is not going to come out, there is a little bit of a tail here. You can use a lighter and just put it close. There you go. Close to the heat, and that heat will cinch that knot. That knot is not going anywhere now. And that right there is what you should be doing when a pattern says weave, secure, and cut your thread. All right, so if you like this video, don't forget to like it, comment, share, and share it with other beaders so that they can learn too. Let's not be gatekeepers. See you next.